What's good, everybody? We are back again with a new vibe again.
Change it up.
But yeah, man, we are the Mighty No Hedging Podcast duo, man. I go by the name of Rip16, the GOAT.
I am Ty, the Jet.
And we are the Mighty No Hedging Podcast duo, as I just said. Mm-hmm. Now, last week we had an interesting roller coaster of a week.
It was a good week. It was fun.
It was a pretty good week. It was fun. It was a lot of good football. But, before we dive into all of what last week had to offer us, I like to start this show off with a little bit of GOAT talk.
Nah.
So can I get a Stone Cold Steve Austin what?
What?
Hey, man, listen. Some of the bets didn't go the way we wanted them to go last week. And that happens.
We'll talk about it.
But it's a good thing it's the holidays. Because we got some gifts for you.
Okay.
What?
It's big W season, not the little one.
What?
I'm trying to get it lit like this flame behind us.
What?
Do you see this set?
Crazy work. Crazy work.
We about to turn up.
Crazy work.
So make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit those links in the bio. We got props made easy. I made a couple prop plays to balance out a couple of them NFL games that went a little left on me. So appreciate you at Props Made Easy.
They're giving out free stuff in there.
And we're going to dive back in and we're going to get some big W's because it's big W season, not the little one.
What's L?
So let's get into it, man.
Let's do it.
You want to kick us off with our first segment? What classic but goodie? What do we call it?
Takeaways.
Yes, sir.
Takeaways. All right, so
What do you got?
I'm going to talk about something that should have probably been talked about all season, but this quote-unquote of unvaluable running backs that has been coined by general managers in these NFL teams.
Joe Shea.
Right. Joe Shea, Jerry Jones, Mark Davis.
Yeah.
All these guys, right? Mm-hmm. Specifically, running backs who have left a previous situation in a new team, and they are leading the league in rushing and touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, leading the league in rushing.
Obviously.
11 touchdowns. Derrick Henry,
12.
second.
12 touchdowns?
13 touchdowns.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to short you, Mr. Henry.
And Josh Jacobs, who's been scoring 3 touchdowns, seem like every single game.
Going crazy.
Those are your top 3 running backs that have left.
Don't forget about Joe Mixon.
Well, Joe Mixon, Joe Mixon as well. He's 11th ranked in rushing. But specifically, these top 3 running backs right here who were pretty much tossed out in the streets from their previous teams.
And you know what? I think it came from that BS ideology that, it's a passing league. It's a passing league. So the running back isn't valuable, but they're not realizing like how much of an impact a running back has on the game. And it gives you an extra wide receiver in some of those cases. Because you got somebody who's dynamic like Josh Jacobs or even a Joe Mixon or even a Chase Brown or somebody who plays almost like a wide receiver at times. Yeah. So the running back position should be valued higher. I think this season has shown us that, some of these backs, which you didn't want to pay, they are valuable. They can be highly productive, and they can lead to a lot more wins for your team if you put them in the right system. I think all the aforementioned players that you just said, they found a way to be effective in a new team system, and I think they went to places that suited them very well. I mean, Derrick Henry going to the number 1 rushing team in the league is a match made in heaven.
Yeah, Aaron Jones too. Can't forget about Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Yeah, that's another one. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and again, being able to balance out an offense that already has a pretty decent passing attack or go into a system that is set up to give you a lot of good run plays. Like Tony Pollard is playing better at running back, way better at running back in Tennessee than he's played in Dallas, and Tennessee is probably not as good of a team as Dallas.
Right.
But still, he's been hella effective. So
yeah, but I mean, also too, it has to do with the offensive lines, right? Because Saquon Barkley, I'm using him as an example. In New York, nobody really saw this version of Saquon, but obviously, the offensive line play is completely different in Philadelphia than it is in New York. So
absolutely,
that plays a huge role in the productivity of these running backs.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just think about it. Like all these major teams, these good teams, even the Detroit Lions, who got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, like these aren't the same type of teams without these running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like this running game is important for the success of these teams. So I feel like after this season, running backs, hey, we need a pay increase.
Yeah,
we need a pay
for
increase.
Sure. That's why I didn't get it. But I mean, I understood they were saying it's a passing league, but at the same time, we talk about how many wide receivers come out and how they're a dime a dozen and they So why aren't you valuing the running back a little bit higher? Because guys like that are not in abundance. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just being able to move the ball on the ground, save your wide receivers. I mean, you don't find a whole bunch of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So like,
yeah, and then here's the thing: the run game, it opens up the pass game
for sure,
and it also closes the game.
And if you got a young quarterback, you should want to have a good running back.
Right. And I mean, let's be honest,
Chuba Hubbard started playing better, and look at what Bryce Young started doing.
Right. And then obviously your boy Kyron Williams with the Rams. Look with the Rams. We'll get into them in a little bit, but
for sure,
on the flip side of that, Isaiah Pacheco, he's been missing for the majority of the Chiefs season, and that's a big part of their offense. Obviously, he's just getting back into his rhythm, but he's coming back at the right time, and we're going to see a better Chiefs team with Isaiah Pacheco in the lineup. So
agree.
that
They
just
gave
goes to
him
show
more
you the
touches
value
last game too.
Yeah, to get his legs back under him. So that running back position should be more valued based off of what we've been seeing this year, obviously. But yeah, that was kind of one of my takeaways because you got all these running backs. Obviously, Saquon Barkley passes Shady McCoy's single season rushing record.
Somebody go check on Shady.
You got Josh Jacobs, scoring 3 touchdowns in the game, kind of back-to-back games.
Somebody go check on Shady McCoy, man.
Sonic and Knuckles in Detroit, balling the hell out. Kyron Williams helping lead the Rams into victories to get back into the game, to get back into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's just so many different running backs that you could talk about that have provided so much value.
For sure. Can I add in one takeaway?
Do your thing.
This game was not like a huge deal at all. But the Bengals versus the Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jamar Chase is always open.
7-11.
We know.
Mm-hmm.
He said it.
I'm always fucking open.
I'm always fucking open. He showed it against the Cowboys again. But the thing I found interesting about that game is they kind of collapse late in the game and make a lot of mistakes.
The Bengals offense?
No, the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
they collapse a lot. Like, I thought looking at that game, initially how they played in the first half, you had Rico having
he had a good game.
He had a good game.
Really good game. Best game all
over
season.
100 yards rushing, damn near 120. But he had 60 in the first half, and he was averaging like 6 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm thinking at that point in time, you're gonna keep running the ball, right? No. CeeDee Lamb is getting you good production. You're gonna keep throwing the CD, right? No. You're going to. It's just like, what are y'all doing?
It's Dallas.
Like, what are y'all doing?
It's Dallas.
And I was thinking, as the head coach was already been catching some heat, having a winnable game at home against a struggling Bengals team, I think this is a game where you put your best foot forward, and I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, We've already tried to clock out Jerry Jones. We've already we had like a baby discussion about head coach over there being under fire and it might be time to clock. But I don't know. I feel like it's something with the game planning or something because they just look depleted. Michael Parsons is beside himself after the game. CeeDee been looking the same way for about a month and a half. Mm-hmm. He catch the ball 40 yards. I'm like, all right. And walk off like he's not.
Well,
happy.
they understand what they don't have at the quarterback position right now. Cooper Rush is obviously not Dak Prescott. I'm not saying Dak Prescott is Patrick Mahomes.
They
or
was
Josh
losing
Allen.
with Dak Prescott.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, but Cooper Rush is here. Dak Prescott is here. So they're doing the best they can with what they have. I will say is with that game, I'm impressed with Cincinnati's defense a little bit. They stepped up.
They generated some sacks.
Yeah, they played a little bit better.
They did stop a couple times to Turpin. They got a couple swats, deflections. They
especially in the red zone, right? They was converting offensively in the red zone. Dallas gets to the red zone. They can't convert in the red zone.
Yeah.
And Cincinnati.
I've been saying the Bengals defense is ass.
Yeah, they've been terrible. But this week, obviously, with you playing a Cooper Rush at quarterback, your defense should look a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's exactly what it is.
They didn't look ass. They looked behind.
Yeah. But I mean, it's Joe Burrow, it's Jamar Chase. These dudes, you know, if this is a better defense, ain't no telling where they would be. They could possibly have a 1 seed if they had a better defense.
Because he cooking.
Yeah.
Jamar was cooking.
Joe Burrow is on an MVP type run, but it's not. He probably won't get considered because the team's not winning.
Can't be the most valuable player on a losing team.
And Jamar Chase, best receiver in the league, obviously on pace for the triple crown. He leads in receiving yards, receptions, and touchdowns. So it's like that defense let them down this year. It's unfortunate, but we'll see you next year, Cincy, and hopefully they get some pieces on the defense. But I do like the players on the defense. It might just be the scheme.
I like Kendricks.
Yeah.
He generates some sacks. Some guys on that line, you know, they moving. They putting pressure on the quarterback. I will say that. However, I think they still got to tighten up some things in that secondary because they go against a top tier receiver and the top tier receivers cook up on them every time.
Yeah, I mean Trayvon Diggs is not a good cornerback in my opinion. I mean Jamar Chase handed
his name gets a lot of recognition, but
yeah, I think he's a good zone corner. But as far as man-to-man corner, he's not that good man-to-man corner. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamar Chase cooked everybody. It was Trayvon Diggs.
I can't put too much on Trayvon Diggs because it's Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase don't lose a matchup to nobody. Yeah. Just to be honest,
right?
So it don't matter who you line him up with, he's gonna cook him.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter what you said.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, getting into another little segment, you know what I'm saying? We was just talking about some people that kind of fell off a cliff a little bit as a team. Some people that are doing impressive things, MVPs. But you know, let's get into some guys who are some contenders. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some guys who might even be some pretenders. In a little segment, it's a little segment we like to call "Besides the Chiefs." Yeah. We all know Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. They pulled it off again. You squeaked by again.
They done did it again.
They done won another division game by a couple points. Chargers fought them. They did. They got down to that last drive.
Chargers outplayed them in the second half. If the Chargers play that way in the first half, we might have a different outcome. If you had Ladd McConkey out there, you had J.K. Dobbins, it might have been a different game. Yeah. However, you give Justin Herbert a handful of thumbtacks and duct tape, and I mean, he did the best he could with what he had.
Hey, listen, he tried to make a Freddy Krueger glove and be the worst nightmare for the Chiefs, but it was just a sweet dream.
Yeah.
So that was a nice little soliloquy.
But with that being said, the Chiefs win again.
The Chiefs won again. But besides the Chiefs. Who else you got? Who, after week 14 that was, how is your contention looking right now?
I'm looking at the LA Rams being a legitimate contender. Obviously, you see
they're back.
They They had a hellified game against the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, Bills come across country. Josh Allen.
Bills was coming back on their ass, though.
Yeah, Josh Allen has a historic game. First player ever to score 3 touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns in a single
How
game.
does that even happen?
Went fucking ballistic. But I'm more so impressed that the Rams, they took up the challenge, right? They are more healthy. They're healthier now. They got all their pieces, and that defense has been playing somewhat good. Obviously, the Rams played a perfect game, right? It was no turnovers in this game at all, and they was able to get a special teams touchdown. So they won. I mean, all 3 phases they played well, complimentary football.
And they still only won by 2 points.
They only won by 2 points.
That tells you how good the Bills are.
That tells you how good Josh Allen and the Bills are. But, I mean, I'm looking at the Rams as a legitimate contender because they're healthy. They got all their players. When you got Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Kyron Williams showing out like that.
Jackson. My man had a Michael Jackson toe touch on the sideline.
Crazy.
I said, did he catch that? I said, oh, he dragged both his toes. That was
crazy.
Insane.
And Matt Stafford, bro. I mean, Stafford, he's an OG. He's a super vet. And he's still playing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Like, he understands what this offense entails. He has a crazy arm. You know, you got another super vet like Aaron Rodgers, and you kind of see the difference. You don't have to be a mobile quarterback to have success. You just got to be able.
That's kind of team scheme, coaching.
Yeah,
some of that,
all of that plays a role in that. So, mainly scheme for sure. But with their ability to run the ball opens up the pass game. That's how they like to play. But I think the Rams, I mean, shoot, they got a huge game coming up this week against the 49ers on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Major game.
Monster game.
Then they have the Jets, the Cardinals, and then the Seahawks again. So they have an opportunity to jump into the playoffs and win that division, especially with this Rams. They got 3 more division games. So these are must-win games for them. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. And I think the Rams should be looked at as a potential contender in the NFL.
I mean, I don't get no arguments for me. I mean, a healthy Rams team is dangerous. We know that with Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Stafford throwing the ball. You got defense generating some pressure. You got a nice rookie in Jared Verse who's out there getting pressure on the ball. Like, you got a lot of players, dudes, guys, and bros that can come out here and make some plays. They play as a team. So, I mean, it takes a full team effort to get it done, but they definitely have the staff, personnel, record label, and the crew that can come in and mess up a couple things.
And I have a future on them over 8.5 wins, so I need 2 more wins.
You might get it.
I might get it.
You might get it.
I might get it.
2 more wins?
I need 2 more wins.
4 weeks? What they got? 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
4 more games?
Yep.
That's doable.
2-2, I'm good.
That's doable.
Yeah, it's doable.
Highly doable.
What are you? Who you thinking about as far as contenders or pretenders? Who's pretending out here? Who's contending out here?
Can we talk about the NFC South real quick?
Let's talk about it. What you got to say?
As far as contenders and pretenders go, right? So, as I said last week, I thought the Falcons were going to lose that game.
Yeah, we knew that.
And unfortunately,
we knew that.
They did. They got the brakes beat off of them worse than we expected.
What else is new? I mean, they battled early.
It was a
good game early, but late turnover, it was a wrap.
Yeah, and what the hell was the defense doing?
2 turnovers. Fumbled by your boy, Ray McLeod on the kickoff return.
Yeah.
And then another pick by Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Well, 2 more picks by Kirk Cousins, but that was the ball game.
And what the hell was the defense doing in the secondary? They left Justin Jefferson open to stand still and catch the ball.
They
almost.
Panicked.
I mean, my man was looking for his mom on the sideline.
Don't panic.
And turned his head back around, and Justin Jefferson had the ball. He was just scrolling in the end zone.
Don't panic.
But I already figured they would lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Rams. I'm sorry. The Buccaneers won against the Raiders, which was pretty much expected.
Yeah.
So that lifted the Buccaneers over the Falcons to first place in the division. So they're now 7-6. The Falcons are 6-7. The Saints won barely versus the Giants.
Yeah.
And they they're still not in contention.
No, Derek Carr got injured. He's probably done. So
Yeah. Panthers fought hard again.
They did.
Covered a spread.
they did.
Very well against the Eagles. But they lost. They're out of contention. So that
Not their
only
year.
leaves
Yeah.
the Buccaneers and the Falcons, who can potentially, one is going to win the division, one has a shot at a wild card slot. Has a slim chance. Slim. Because Washington is still in that wild card slot, and that's
Yep.
going to be hard to overcome. However, given the remainder of the schedule, I would not put it past the Falcons to be able to win out the remainder of their schedule. And if they so happen to do that, if the Buccaneers manage to lose one of those games that they have remaining on their schedule, that would then put the Falcons in a tiebreaker with the Buccaneers, and the Falcons get the tiebreaker. And I honestly think that may be the case of what happens here. Because coming up this week, I don't like Desmond Ridder as the quarterback of the Raiders to try to beat his old team in the Falcons. Even though it is a road game, I don't love it. Monday Night Football, we see a lot of strange things happen. They got to bounce back after all these losses. Kirk Cousins,
They have to.
you got to do something, brother.
And Kirk Cousins' record on Monday night is not good either.
It's not good on Monday Night Football.
No. Primetime games is not his cup of tea.
It's not his cup of tea.
He's a 1 o'clock slate kind of guy.
Yeah. but winning games is also not the Raiders' cup of tea.
Yeah.
Because they're 2-12. 2-12 right now. Yeah. So, with all of that being said, it's not completely 2-11. I'm sorry. No, they just lost. They should be 2-12. So,
No, that's 2-11, right?
but with that being the case, the Falcons do have a shot at still winning the division and winning the tiebreaker. I think they ultimately
Broncos
end up
country.
with the same record
Let's
as the
ride.
Buccaneers. So then it becomes a question of whether or not somebody will make a wild card or somebody will end up left in the win.
Okay. Falcons have Raiders, Giants, Commanders, Panthers.
Winnable games. Commanders is the toughest one.
Buccaneers have Chargers, Cowboys, Panthers, Saints.
I don't love the Buccaneers against the Chargers. We're going to get into that in a minute too. But you said Chargers,
Cowboys,
and Saints.
Panthers, Saints.
Panthers, Saints. So we both got to play the Panthers again, which the way the Panthers have been playing, they can
beat both of y'all.
They could fuck up somebody's day.
Yeah, they could. They could.
They could. They're in a position to be able to fuck up either one of their day. But I think once you put, people battling for playoff position and battling for a spot, ultimately they're going to come out and play a little harder and got a little bit of extra motivation. So I think that I'm going to give the edge to the Buccaneers and the Falcons in those matchups with the Panthers, but not because they're just dominant over them right now. The Panthers are playing really good football. Even though they aren't winning, they're still playing.
You think the Falcons are a better team than Tampa Bay?
I think we're a more skilled team than Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay has a much better game plan and scheme and usage of their players. I think that's why they're just a notch above us right now. I think they just play a better game plan, and better scheme. Like you're utilizing your personnel how you're supposed to use them. Bucky Irvin is good at this.
It's Baker Mayfield.
And Baker Mayfield is playing.
I think he's the main, like that X factor for that team.
I mean, definitely, because Baker don't like a play, he'll take off.
Yeah.
Kirk ain't scrambling.
No, Kirk ain't going nowhere. He gonna sit in there and take a sack, or he gonna throw a fucking paper plane pick to somebody.
He ain't scrambling. However, I do think Kirk can be a little bit more surgical with his passes than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You got a player like Bijan Robinson, who should be in the conversation at the top of the league and top 10 running backs, or top 5.
He up there. He top 10.
He should be top 5.
Yeah, he up there.
In my opinion.
Yeah, he top 10.
He got the skills to be top 5. And then you got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, who
That's the problem. I don't understand. There's no usage of Kyle Pitts.
That's why I said I think the Buccaneers have a much better utilization. You utilize Cade Otton. You utilize Bucky Irvin. Rashad White had a good game against the Raiders.
That's what I don't understand. Like
you're using
they
your
don't
players.
start targeting Kyle Pitts, at least this game, until the fourth quarter. Like get him in the game early. Get him some targets early. And then and people get mad because he started dropping passes at the end of the game. But I mean, shit, I ain't get targeted until the fourth quarter.
You can't get warmed up in the fourth quarter.
So he's not even in the game at that point. So I'm like, I don't understand that. I don't know. It's something about, I don't know, the offensive coordinator.
I don't like the scheme on offense nor defense.
They need to get
now.
him. They need to get Kyle Pitts involved a little bit more, because obviously a tight end is a quarterback's best friend. You know, and then Kyle Pitts is a freak of an athlete as far as how he's built. He's 6'6", 2 something. Like, bro, get him involved in the game, and then
he got some speed
happen.
on him.
Yeah,
for his size, like for sure. So yeah, use him. Like, but. Let's actually parlay that.
Parlay
what you just said. Let's parlay that into another segment we have around here that we, it's a little segment. It's a fan favorite, I would say. It's a segment we like to call "Clock Out for Me, Big Dawg."
Get that timestamp. It's time to
go
go.
ahead and clock out.
Yeah,
You're done.
Go ahead and punch that clock, brother. Can I add on a little bit more sauce? Can I parlay that into a little bit of something else?
Do your thing.
It's something I like to call something new. Something I like to call rapid fire clock outs. Jake Elliott over 50 yards kicking.
No
For the
bueno.
Eagles.
No bueno.
Listen, clock out for me, big dog. If it's a 50-yard kick, just go ahead. Just tell coach. Go for it, player. Because
4th and 13.
4th and 13. Go for it. Don't bring out the punter. Do a short snub punt or something. But 50-yard kicks, it's not your specialty. Not your specialty, player. Dusty Hop for the Browns. I don't know which Space Jam alien took your talent, but you wasn't kicking like that last season, brother. This season, hell no. Hell no. Dusty Hop up to try and save the day? Hell no.
Nah.
Clock out for me, big dog. That game shouldn't have been that far out of hand, brother. If you would have just made 2 of those kicks, that game would have looked a lot different. But unfortunately, you missed them. And parlaying that from the last segment, the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator for the Falcons. If you motherfuckers don't win, if you guys don't win and make the playoffs, clock out for me, big dog.
We need new coordinators.
Both of them. What was the cornerback doing against Justin Jefferson? Jordan Addison.
He panicked.
These folks just over here just cooking. 5 touchdowns. Sam Darnold had 5 touchdowns against that defense. That's not Kirk Cousins. That is the defense.
Sam Darnold. 2 receivers went crazy.
Went mayhem. 30 points, fantasy. 35 for Jordan. 28 for
Jets.
for Jets. Crazy. Glad I had Jets in fantasy. But other than that, that was terrible.
Yeah, it's time for the defensive coordinator of the Atlanta Falcons to clock out.
Offensive coordinator too. What the fuck are you doing with Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
Why is the run play the same for Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier? They don't run the same. What are you doing? I don't like it. I don't like it. You got Mooney, who you got a speedster, you got a jump ball wide receiver, you got a freak athlete, tight end, you got a saucy running back who can run in open space, you got a power running back, you got a quarterback with an arm that can make any pass that you need. What are you doing, brother? You're not utilizing your personnel, and that's the reason why the Buccaneers are 1 game better than you right now.
Time for y'all to clock out.
So yeah, all of you fellas, clock out for me. You got anybody you need to add to that list?
Nah, I'm good.
Think you good?
Yeah, I'm good this week.
Joe Shane, you got anything left on your chest about that?
He's been on here twice.
Joe Shane.
He's been on here twice. So listen, right now I don't have anybody. Everybody that I clocked out, they gone. Except for Joe Shane.
Except for Joe Shane.
I mean, obviously the kickers, but you just went through some more.
Oh my god!
But I clocked out all kickers weeks ago.
Yeah, you did. You clocked all of them out, and I see why. All right, man. Moving on from week 14. Very fun, very interesting week. Despite the woes, we both cooked up on fantasy too.
Oh yeah, went nuts.
Nuts. You had like damn near 170.
170.
And this is a regular scoring league. I had 145 almost. And then I had like 20 some points on the bench. So if that would have been in, I would have been at 162. So yeah, it was a very nice weekend fantasy. And seeing as how people are coming down to those home stretches in fantasy leagues, trying to get in. I got people who trying to bet, people that just like to really bet on football heavy. They're trying to get their last best bets in, their last really good parlays in. So the folks need to know. What's some must-see TV? Like, what do they need to be tuned into watching important matchups, important games, things that these folks just really need to see?
Let's start with Thursday night football.
TNF. Tee it up.
I love TNF. Mm-hmm. I love the crew. I watch it to the end.
They funny.
TNF, Thursday night football, the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams.
Real quick. Why did Ryan Fitzpatrick on Thanksgiving get Chris Jones' game towel and wipe his face after eating the sandwich that the guy brought him?
That dirty towel.
The dirty game towel.
It's hell.
And Sherman was over there like, ew.
But anyway, funny as hell.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Thursday night football, TNF, San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
49ers just beat the brakes off of the Chicago Bears.
Yes, he did.
So do the 49ers have some juice now?
Out of them.
And then the Los Angeles Rams just beat the Bills. They didn't beat the brakes off of them, but they went into a war and went to a battle, back and forth, shootout. Came out victorious. Played pretty much a perfect game.
Jackson.
But did that take out all of the energy from that team? I don't know. We shall see.
I don't think so.
Very important game for both teams. Obviously, it's an in-division game. The Rams right now leading the division. They're at 7-6. The 49ers, like I said, they are trying to catch up, but they do have a lot of injuries, specifically in that backfield. I think they're down to their fourth string running back right now. And it's crazy because Kyle Shanahan knows how to beat up running backs. It seems like every team that he has with running backs, he uses the hell out of them. Even back when Raheem Mostert a couple years ago was back there, he was hurt, and he would tear up running backs. So I don't know who wins this game. I kind of lean the Rams, being that I got them in a future bet. But I do think the Rams are more healthier, obviously. Anybody seen Deebo Samuel?
Hey.
Anybody seen Deebo?
I seen him walk into the game,
looking real zesty. But I think the Rams win this game.
Crop top.
The Rams win it. I think it's gonna be close, but I'm leaning more so Rams to win the game. To hold off the 49ers. I don't think this is, like you called them out a few weeks ago, it's over with for the 49ers. I think that they need to go ahead and pack it up. They're not healthy. There's no point in them trying to get into the playoffs at this point. They go to the playoffs, they out the first round.
They're gonna get their ass cooked.
Yeah, so give me the Rams to win this game. I'm going to take the Rams. What you got? What you think on this?
I'm kind of in agreement with you. I think Puka Nacua Jackson is out there dancing on defenses. He's toe-touching. He's tapping. Juwan Jennings and Brock Purdy have been a nice pairing.
Yeah.
They've been a bright spot of that offense. We did have a George Kittle sighting. He had himself a good game against the Bears. But I do think ultimately that run game is going to be problematic when you're playing against good teams, because I don't know what the fuck the fourth string running back is going to do. I don't know that, gentlemen.
And that 49ers offense is predicated on the run game.
Yeah, and that's problematic when you don't have Christian McCaffrey or Jordan Mason or Isaac Guerrero.
Yeah.
And you got
who?
Isaac.
No, I'm saying
Guerrero.
who? No, I'm saying who's now?
Who?
Hey, practice squad guy.
Brock, his name
Here's a
is
jersey.
yeah,
Suit up.
him over there. So I don't love it. I don't love it against the Rams, especially after being able to pull off a sensational win against a very good Bills team. I don't love it. I don't love their chances in this game. However, I'm not going to put it past them because I think winning and having a blowout win against the Bears kind of gives them a little bit of juice and some confidence. It's just I'm just questioning how well they'll be able to run the ball.
I'm going to tell you this. If the 49ers want to have a chance to win this game, Deebo Samuels need to get involved.
Yeah.
Last couple games, 2 receptions,
This is
22
a winnable
yards.
game for them.
2 receptions, 22 yards against the Bears. 4 receptions, 20 yards against the Bills. 1 reception, 21 yards against the Packers. 4 receptions, 22 yards against the Seahawks. 5 catches, 62 yards against the Buccaneers.
That's decent.
But that was 6 weeks ago. In order for the 49ers to win this game, Deebo Samuels have to do something because nobody's seen him.
Since he was out with the, didn't he have pneumonia or something? I think because he was hospitalized.
Yeah, he was sick. Yeah.
Since he's been out, he's been off. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if he ever bounced back or got right from that. And I do know pneumonia can definitely mess up your breathing. So trying to sit out there and run 100 yards on the field back and forth all day might not be good for somebody with recovering from pneumonia. So I do think that plays a part in it.
Yeah.
But
you gotta have your stars perform. In
you
this
gotta
game,
have your stars
you gotta
perform.
have
But that
stars
just
you got
goes
left.
back to what I said when I clocked them out: is y'all are not healthy.
Yeah, whoever you got left, they gotta show up. That's just what it is.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna show up enough against a Rams team that's scrappy and trying to fight and get a playoff spot.
Yeah, they can do that against the Bears, who they're playing a rookie quarterback, and obviously the San Francisco defense.
The Bears, I could have put the Bears on clock out too, but yeah, I don't see it.
But yeah, must see TV, the San Francisco 49ers and the Rams. What you got?
Another one, man. Just talking about them, Buffalo and Detroit.
Let's go Buffalo.
Bills Mafia versus Detroit and the 8 Mile.
Seems like Detroit always playing at home, don't it?
They get a lot of home games. It feels like they do get a lot of home games. I can't even remember the last time they played on the road.
Right.
But Detroit versus Buffalo at home.
It was Houston, I think. Might have been.
Yeah, did they play against Houston and on the road?
I think so. But go ahead.
Felt like that was at home too. That was at home. That was home. That was a home game for them too. But nah, I do think this is a great matchup. You got 2 teams that are both secured for playoff spots. So the Bills are number 2 in the AFC. Lions are number 1 in the NFC. Victories can be highly important for them in terms of home field advantage at this point. We're pretty much secure that they're going to win. Well, at least the Bills are secure that they're going to win the division, but the Lions not so much.
Right, they still got work to do.
They still got a little bit of work to do to win that division. And for that reason, I think the Lions just have just a slight tad bit more to play for. And they're at home. So I like their chances. The Bills have been playing extremely well, but I do I think I foresee back-to-back losses in their future. With this game, it's only a 1.5 point spread, so it's not like a big point spread. I think they're in for another dogfight. But I like the Lions.
Yeah, like you said, I think the Lions are a little bit more motivated to win this game because the Vikings are right on them. They right on them.
But this should be an extremely fun game to watch, though.
Yeah, definitely must see TV. Let's see how Josh Allen bounces back off of that loss and that crazy victory. Another, back-to-back road games going into that hostile environment in Detroit.
Yeah,
that place is going to be turned all the way up.
You score 6 touchdowns, you expect to win. So he's probably pissed.
Yeah, but the main thing is let's see what the Buffalo Bills defense does against this Detroit Lions run game.
We'll see.
That's the main thing. So I would probably lean Detroit as well, but I don't think the Lions have seen a Josh Allen and trying to defend Josh Allen. When he put that cape on, he's a different type of person.
Nobody plays hero ball like Josh Allen.
Yeah, when he put that cape on, he's a different player. You know, the only reason I would say that the Rams won is because that blocked field goal. That was a difference maker in the special teams. So
Yeah,
I'm going to
for
say
sure.
that. So that doesn't happen. We got a different outcome of that game, I believe. So I don't know. I think I want to lean Lions, but I think, you know, just because
I'm
of the
not
run
counting
game,
the Bills
but
out.
you can't count the Bills out. You just can't do it.
Nah, it's the reason why the point spread is at 1.5.
Yeah.
But what else you got?
Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
That's a goodie.
It's a good one right here.
That's a goodie.
There's a lot of noise coming out of the Philadelphia Eagles facility. You got A.J. Brown beef with Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown wants the ball.
Man, listen.
I don't know if A.J. wants the ball because he's being selfish, or I don't know if he wants the ball because he knows that his team can play a lot better than what they have been playing. So there's two.
They haven't been playing bad, though.
There's two different perspectives you can look at it, because he could probably be looking at it like, yo, we're way better than this. We should be blowing out teams like
I
Carolina.
think he just wants the ball.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you want to look at it. You can look at it however you want.
Carolina has been playing very well.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley has been cooking.
But they shouldn't be in a back and forth match with the Philadelphia Eagles. They shouldn't. If Xavier Legette catches that ball,
But listen,
we got a different outcome.
Okay, but that's defense though.
But the offense
He's on offense.
Jalen Hurts hasn't been playing well. He only threw for like 100 yards.
Look at what they did on the ground.
I understand that. You talking to me. I get it.
Yeah, I mean,
I look at it as like, all right,
Hey,
your
listen.
team won.
Jalen Hurts
you
got
did
me.
well.
Thank you, Mr. Hurts. You got me 20-something fantasy points. You did what you needed to do
Look,
for me, brother.
A.J. Brown, you're not the primary go-to guy. The team is going to be
he's
carried
not the
on
primary
Saquon
focus
Barkley's
of the
back.
offense
Yeah.
anymore. He's not.
Yeah, it's Saquon Barkley's team.
I'm
right now.
sorry, but you
Yeah.
are not the primary focus of the offense, if
You're
I'm
not.
just being completely honest. But you're still winning hella games.
Right.
So I can't put it too much on that, but I think AJ is just, being one of those
He's a
diva
receiver.
receivers.
Yeah. Well, what it really is, he see Jamar Chase going crazy. He see Puka going crazy. Jordan Addison putting up numbers. He said, "Listen, I'm a top 5 guy. I need to be getting top 5 numbers." But whatever.
Was he cooking the defense like that?
He be cooking defenses, bro.
He do cook some defense,
He-
but
he-
I'm saying,
he go
was he
crazy.
cooking the Panthers?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why he's upset, because he didn't get any looks.
But did he cook them though? Was he
And
that
the reason,
open?
yes, he got open. That's the reason why he said
Okay,
that.
he said he wide open and he ain't getting the
he
ball.
ain't get the ball. Yeah.
Did he see the pressure that was putting on Jalen Hurts' ass?
Don't
They was
matter.
after him.
There's some plays where Jalen Hurts didn't turn the ball loose. That he should have turned the ball loose, but he
Okay.
didn't do it. So that's what he's referring to.
Okay.
But I get it. But this game in particular, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, it's gonna be a fight. This is gonna be a battle.
Oh yeah, every time Pittsburgh plays, somebody might get stabbed.
Yeah, this is gonna be a battle.
You got Queen, you got
they
you
playing
got-
in Philly.
you got TJ Watt. It's a dirty environment. Philly gonna be out there howling.
Russell Wilson's been playing very, very well. The only thing is George Pickens may not be playing.
That's not good.
That's not good for Pittsburgh.
Not good.
Najee Harris been playing okay.
Yeah, Najee got in the end zone.
So I don't know. I think I'm gonna probably lean more.
He's on some permanently banned parlay list for some people that
Yeah.
I've seen.
I think I'm gonna lean the Philadelphia Eagles on this one. At first I was thinking Pittsburgh, but I think I'm gonna lean Philadelphia.
I told you that.
I'm leaning Philly, even though they got all that noise going on. I'm gonna take the Philly. I'm gonna take the Philly.
All right.
In Saquon, I trust.
Hey man, got to. I got one more entry for you though. I
Who
know
that?
normally we only do like 2 or 3 of these,
Yeah.
but it's an exciting week of football. Week 15 is a pretty important week of football for a lot of teams. So I gotta throw Seattle versus Green Bay in there. Seattle coming off of another dub in a division, big win over the Cardinals. Green Bay coming off of a big matchup themselves. I think this is a very important game because they both fighting for a lot. So I feel like it's just gonna be a dogfight.
Yeah, Green Bay lost in a close one against the Lions.
Yeah, they did. They're coming off of their big game against the Lions, but they lost a close one, and that was a division loss for them. So I feel like that put some extra batter in their back to try to come out here and win this game, especially at home.
Got a little bit more rest too.
Yeah. So being at home, a little bit more rest, coming off of a Thursday night game, going into a Sunday game. It kind of goes in Green Bay's favor to try to end this hot streak that Seattle has been on.
Seattle's on fire.
But they on fire.
They on fire.
Good Lord Jesus is fire.
And this is it's a must win for Seattle if they want to keep the Rams off of their heels.
The Rams on their ass.
Yeah.
They on your ass. So
strap up them chin straps, buckle up them cleats, and let's go.
yeah, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it should be exciting to watch. I think it's going to be a highly competitive game because both sides have a lot to play for. And they're both in tight division races. So I think this is definitely worth adding to must-see TV.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Watch it. Who you leaning? Green Bay?
I'm going to go with the home team in Green Bay in this one.
Green Bay on the road.
Green Bay on the road?
Yep.
That makes it more interesting. I still like Green Bay, but Seattle is a hellified home dog.
The defense been playing way better.
Seattle is a hellified home dog, but I still lean a little bit Green Bay because Josh Jacobs is just going fucking insane.
He's going crazy.
He's going fucking insane.
He's hard to stop.
He's hard. They're not going to stop him.
He's hard to
I need
stop.
a look. Prop alert. Josh Jacobs.
Romeo
Rushing
Dawgs might
receiving
come
yards.
back. He might be back too, so I don't know.
Rushing receiving yards. Josh Jacobs. Prop alert.
I do think Green Bay is a better team, though.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay is definitely the better team.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go Green Bay.
All right.
But yeah, man, you picking a side on that or no?
We'll get into it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and parlay that since you want to get into it. Let's parlay that into probably I would argue the most important part of the show.
Yeah.
It's a little segment, a classic, but a legendary one. A lot of money's been made here. We like to call this Best Bets. Drop them tips.
Some chips.
So, man, first of all, Best Bets, how did you do last week?
Once again, the damn Falcons screw me. I lay off the Falcons for like a whole entire year.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years, because I didn't want to touch them because they always screwed me.
Yeah.
And sure enough, they screwed me again as soon as I give them a little leash. I extend the leash a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't
And they
love
screwed
it.
me. So I went 2-1. I had, the Carolina Panthers, they covered.
Yes,
My
they
New
did.
York Giants covered, surprisingly. They
told
could
you
have
the
won.
Saints was not that great.
And, obviously, the Falcons, they didn't cover their spread. So I went 2-1.
Well, that's better than what I did. I actually ended up 1-2
Yeah.
this past week because unfortunately some teams didn't cooperate. Who lost bad? The Raiders end up losing by a larger deficit to the Buccaneers than expected.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys lost by. I knew the Cowboys would probably lose that game, but I thought they would cover 5.5.
They started
but they ended
out
up losing
okay.
by 7 instead of 5.5, so they did not cover. But again, that's the Cowboys are just like the Falcons are to you. The Cowboys are to me.
Yeah.
So
I put the Cowboys in that group, too.
yeah, I did,
And the
yeah.
Chargers. Those are the 3 teams that screwed me.
But the
And
Chargers
Jets
have been
now,
a lot
so.
better this season. So the Chargers have been covering some spreads with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So I went 1-2.
This week, man, we back at
Bouncing
it.
back, man. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, big W season, not the little one. Fuck all that other stuff. What do you got?
This week, man, I feel good about these ones. I didn't feel too good about the ones last week, but I feel
We
really
went all
good.
underdogs last week.
Yeah, we went all underdogs last week.
Wildin'.
This week, I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh. See you back
Minus 14.5.
You doing
Huge
that-
spread.
You on that last week again.
No.
14.5.
Big spread. Lamar Jackson coming off a bye week. They playing the New York Giants. The Giants cannot score points. They can't stop anybody either. They don't get any turnovers.
Joe Shea.
The Giants defense is The whole Giants team is just
the defense
falling apart.
The defense been doing the most out of the whole team.
They've been falling apart. They don't get. They finally got an interception. They set an NFL record of most consecutive games without an interception this season. That's awful. And guess what? The person who got the interception, he probably won't even play this week. So, with that being said, the Giants defense, we are soft tanking.
Soft tanking.
We are soft tanking. They putting players on. Hey, they're done. They shutting players down, bro.
Soft tanking.
They shutting players down.
I've never heard that terminology before. All right.
Yeah, they soft tanking. So give me the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar, another NFC team. Lamar is gonna beat.
I like them to win.
They're gonna beat the brakes off of the Giants. Bro.
I just don't love the Ravens defense.
Because I think last time we saw the Ravens, I think they lost. So, Lamar Jackson coming off of a win, off of a loss, off of a bye. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this team, which you don't even need. You only need 2 days to prepare for. So, give me the Ravens, man, minus 14.5. It's going to be a slaughter fest.
That's just a lot of fucking points. But go ahead. I'm with you.
They're capable. Next one, Denver Broncos at home versus the Indianapolis Colts. Actually, I am a believer in Bo Nix.
I actually love this pick.
I am a believer in Bo Nix.
Probably the most solid pick you have.
He's not afraid to throw the ball. He's not afraid to sling it. I feel like every time it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, he's throwing that bitch 20 yards down the field, and he'll convert it. So give me the Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts. I don't care who's the quarterback. If it's still Anthony Richardson, is it? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Richardson.
Doesn't matter. Give me the Denver Broncos. That defense, even though they had kind of a bad outing a couple weeks back, but I think their defense is still solid. So give me the Denver Broncos. I like Bo Nix. And that offense running at quarterback.
Colts coming off a bye too. You don't like them?
Absolutely not.
Just messing with you.
They can come off a vacation, and I'm still picking Bo Nix over Anthony Richardson at home.
So what's your last pick that you got?
I got the Seattle Seahawks +3 versus the Green Bay Packers. We touched on this a little bit.
Okay.
The hot Seattle Seahawks team, they're playing very good defense. I do think Green Bay is the better team, but I think being that Seattle is trying to fend off the Los Angeles Rams in that division, I think they come to play. And they're at home. So I think that 12th man will have some sort of effect. But, give me the Seattle Seahawks on this game +3.
Tough one. But I could see them covering that for sure.
Yeah.
Tough game.
What you got?
I'm gonna go my 3 picks this week. I'm gonna run back a couple teams that I've been rocking with pretty heavily this season. Starting with the good old Houston Texans, man. Houston Texans -2.5, and as we've spoken, it's gone up to 3. So somebody at the sports book agrees with me. Houston -2.5 or -3 in this game. I like them versus the Dolphins, just because the Dolphins got 3 problems, as we know: playing in the cold, playing on the road, playing against teams over 500. And right now, that's 2 out of 3.
Like those chances.
I like Houston's chances of covering 3 points versus the Dolphins at home. Give me the Houston Texans -2.5 or 3. I like them. Bolts up. Give me my Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I know they playing against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know the Buccaneers are hot. I know they got Baker Mayfield. I know these things, right? But the coaching job that Harbaugh is doing over there, the playing job that Justin Herbert is doing over there, they are putting together some game plans that even the games where they've lost, they right there. And for that reason, I like them versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. Just because I feel like they have enough personnel. Hopefully Ladd McConkey is cleared and good to go by that game. Definitely going to need him. But I think they put together a good enough game plan and they play good enough defense to contain Baker Mayfield somewhat. You definitely going to have to contain his scrambling ability. He's gonna come out there and make some plays, but you can't be rattled. And that's one thing that I like about this team as opposed to other years. They haven't been as rattled. You know, I feel like they fell apart in the second half of a lot of games, and I've actually seen the Chargers come back in the second half and win some games this season, which is a complete change and lets me know that there's a huge culture shift over there. So as a Chargers fan, I love to see it. I'm going to go with the Chargers -3 in this one just because I think the defense does enough to hold off Baker Mayfield. I do think it'll be a pretty close game, not a blowout by any chance. Yeah. However, I do think the Chargers have enough to be able to win this game by 3.
Yep. Safety Antoine Winfield Jr. for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is out.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good. They don't have a great wide receiving personnel, but it's not good. I think Palmer can cook up some.
Do you think, what's the best side of the Chargers team? Is it the offense or is it the defense?
I would still go with the strength has been the defense because people haven't been putting up a lot of points on them. Most teams that they play don't put up a lot of points on them. So I would say the strength is still the defense. I do think they're a little short-handed in terms of like their wide receiving core. With J.K. Dobbins, they generated a very nice run game. Will Dissly has come together at tight end pretty decent. Lad McConkey has been reliable, but they don't have like
Palmer. He played well last week.
Yeah, which I kind of expected with McConkey being out. But they just haven't been really explosive at wide receiver.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody who can, even like Malik Neighbors, like still has some explosiveness, still has some dynamic plays that he can make.
I'm afraid of him.
Yeah. He's scary. Yeah. This guy can do something. And they don't have that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think if they end up eventually getting that guy, then they become a much more scary offense. So I'm gonna put the strength into the defense more so than the offense right now.
What's your last one?
My last one. Listen, man, I think they got a nice little confidence boost after that game they just had against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm gonna go Minnesota Vikings -7. Minnesota Vikings versus Chicago Bears. Bears just got the hell beat out of them by the 49ers. So we just saw them up against a good team, even though that wasn't the division game. We just saw them up against a good team, be able to get, and not a great team right now because the 49ers haven't even been great lately.
Right. Nah.
They
haven't been good either.
They haven't even been a good team lately, but they found their mojo on their ass. So give me Minnesota back at home for this one. It is a division game, so of course division games you do have to always be cautious about a higher point spread. Yeah. But I think Minnesota found some confidence, man. Sam Darnold threw for 5 touchdowns. The last time they played him, it was a much tighter game, but they ultimately did end up winning that game versus the Bears, and I think they end up doing it again. I just think they do it by a better profit margin this time, and they hold it down, man. I think they get 7 on the Bears, man. So yeah, I got Houston -2.5 or 3, the Chargers -3, and Minnesota -7.
Okay,
that's my picks.
Okay.
Best bets, baby. But real quick.
Got one last thing for y'all.
One last thing for y'all. These folks need to know. Some of my people love to make they love a good dog in a fight. You know, I know you love a good dog. You're a pet owner.
Yeah, love me a good dog.
So what is your Dogs of the Week?
Yeah, last week my dog barked. You know, I finally
the Seahawks
finally came home. The Seahawks finally got the dub. Well, that I needed for my dog bet.
Yeah.
This week, even though I kind of like Philadelphia to win the game, I think Pittsburgh is a tough out. That defense is probably going to give Philadelphia some problems.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and take the Pittsburgh Steelers as my underdog this week.
Y'all stick beside.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers as my dog this week. Somewhere, that performance, Philadelphia been squeaking by barely. They've been barely getting by. They've been winning.
They've had some decent
close
opponents
calls.
though.
You know, they've been finding ways to win at the end of the game, which is great for them.
They've had some decent opponents though.
But you know, you stop that run game with Saquon Barkley, which I think Pittsburgh is capable
Nobody
of
does.
doing. I think they're capable of doing
Nobody
it.
stops Saquon.
They're capable of doing it.
He is the
in
Jamar Chase of running backs. Nobody stops him.
Put the ball in Jalen Hurts' hand, and we'll see what happens. Pittsburgh got some good defensive backs. My boy Elliott back there, he makes plays, playing that middle of the field all over the place. I like Pittsburgh. Who you got?
Okay. I'm a little leaning Eagles myself, but okay. I'm gonna go with a dog that you probably hate.
Don't like them.
But they're going against somebody that you also probably hate.
Yeah.
That you hate to bet on. Mm-hmm. And hell, betting against them has only proved me wrong maybe 3 times all season. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win over the New York Jets, and I tell you why.
Can't do it.
Terrible. Both of these, we are still in our heads. We think the Jets are a better team than they are. Because in our heads, we think they should be a better team than they are.
They're a better team than the Jags.
But listen, we also thought the Jags would be playing better at this point, and they aren't.
Well, that's because no Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence has been in and kept getting his ass knocked out.
If Trevor Lawrence is playing,
They was losing when he was in.
If Trevor Lawrence plays, I agree with you. McEnroe Jones.
Listen,
Do you see the shit that he be doing?
have you seen the shit that the Jets be doing?
I have.
Listen.
They did that against Miami.
Listen, and
Gave up the lead.
the other reason, the Jaguars defense quietly is nobody's bitch.
They're decent.
So I think against that offense, what they put together, and they got a backup running back in too, with Aaron Rodgers not having a good season. You got Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. You're hinging that against that defense
They've been
to be
playing
able
better.
to overcome.
They've been playing better over the past couple of weeks.
But so has the Jaguars defense. And for that reason, I'm going to go with the Jaguars at home to go ahead and upset the sorry-ass New York Jets.
Doubt it. But
The New York Jets, they're both 3-10. I mean, it's really a garbage bowl,
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
it's garbage. Yeah.
But I'm going to say the Jags win as a dog.
All right. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see, man. But make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe. Because that's all we got.
We gave you everything we had, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Make sure you hit that link in the description, man. Props made easy. Prop plays. It's a lot of good matchups out there for you, especially this week. Because I like some of these guys to cook up. Brock Bowers versus that Falcons secondary. Jawan Jennings.
Baltimore Ravens, everything over.
Jawan Jennings. Puka Nacua. Anything you want from the Ravens.
Yeah, everything over. Everybody.
It's a lot. It's a lot to be on the table. So make sure y'all hit that link in the description. Props made easy. Make sure you catch a good line though, because they're gonna boost some stuff. They're gonna make some stuff look bad. Josh Jacobs versus Seattle. I mean, I think he has some room to cook up. I mean, it's a lot of good plays out there on the board, but make sure you hit that link. That'll help you out. And as we like to say around here, man, parlays, making money line plays. May all these bets continue to pay, cause I need some money today.
I need that money.
Peace.
We out.
I need that money.